Welcome back to my channel. In this video I'm going to show you guys how I restored my old wig and got this result. Alright, so this is a wig that I made, I want to say around July of last year. It was dyed just a tad bit darker than this, but you know the color fades as you add heat and as you wash it and whatnot, so it started looking kind of weird. I thought it was getting too light for me, so I was just like, well, maybe I'll dye it, make it a little darker. And then my lace was a little janky, so trying to fix it up a little bit. So right now I'm just about to go in and re-sew my closure down because it was getting a little loose. I haven't re-sewn it, and girl, she was hanging off. She was hanging off, girl. So I'm gonna go back in and just sew that down, make sure that that's how it's supposed to be, and then I'm gonna go ahead and get into the dyeing process. Right, so while I was sewing, I went ahead and started boiling the water in the kitchen for me to use. I am using the dip method. I was kind of scared on how it was gonna come out because the wig is already dyed, so I was wondering if it was gonna get dark enough to where I wanted it to be. Um, but honestly, I would say that it went pretty well. So I got the hot water. I'm just gonna go ahead and put some conditioner in it. That's just something that I do. It's not a mandatory step. Um, I just feel like it makes the hair feel better after washing. So I just put the conditioner in there and then I mix it up a little bit before I put the dye in. And the dye that I got, I went ahead and got 2 bottles of Indigo blue. I only used 1 bottle and then half of the second bottle, so didn't use the full 2 bottles. Um, because yeah, I didn't need to. It took the color exactly how I wanted it to, and it came out perfectly. So there was no need for me to use the whole second bottle. I only used a little bit. So I'm just gonna go ahead and dip the wig into the water. Um, I kind of just played with it in there for a second to try to give it time to absorb the color and make sure that it soaked up all of the dye that it possibly could. Um, because I really wanted it to come out like a electric blue. That was really what I was going for with this wig. So I'm just trying to make sure it's saturated in the water, in the dye. And so right here, I just started lifting it up, kind of trying to sneak a peek at it. I noticed that in the middle of the wig, it was still sort of light blue. Like you can kind of see it a little bit, where it's still like the teal color. I was kind of freaking out because I thought I got dye on my lace, but it washed off. But yeah, you can still see in the middle of the wig, it's still kind of like teal color. So that was when I decided to go in a little bit with the second bottle of dye. Um, so I just basically took it out of the water, kind of dried it a little bit, and then just put a little bit more dye in there and dipped it back into the water. But I tried to dip the part that was still sort of teal in there first, so that the rest of the hair wouldn't get too much darker before that part, caught up with everything else. So yeah, and then once that was done, I just took it out. All right, so now that you can look at it, you see that it took the color exceptionally well. This is like exactly the color I wanted it to be. Um, there was still a few teal highlights in it, but I mean, that was fine. That was to be expected. I didn't want it to just be one color. I wanted it to kind of be like dimensional, so it's okay that it had just a little bit of like lighter blue streaks. That's fine. So what I'm doing now is I'm just going in and blow drying it so I can go ahead and flat iron it. I'm impatient. I don't like for my wigs to air dry, so that's just what I do. Alright, I'm done doing that. So now I'm about to go in and flat iron it. Um, I personally just prefer straight hair. Like, I don't know why. I just like straight hair. I'm not really a fan of like curls or waves or too much of anything. I just like straight hair. I'm kind of trying to shy away from that. So maybe one day this hair will be curled or crimped or something. But for right now, it is in fact straight. It's going to be straight. All right, and this is the final result. This is how she came out. I'm really glad that it came out exactly the way that I wanted it to. And this is how I restored my blue wig. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll have new videos coming soon.